Napoleon Bonaparte, the leader of French armies who crowned himself emperor in 1804, who also revolutionized warfare, modernized French administration through the Napoleonic Code, and conquered much of Europe, spreading revolutionary ideals while centralizing power until his final defeat at Waterloo in 1815. He was respected by many, but also annoyed plenty, so here are the top 5 of his annoying habits. First is his hot baths that take hours. He doesn't even care where he will take those baths. That's why this leads to disruption of the military campaign, his court life, and definitely needs constant maintenance by his staff. So if you are a slave, you know what's up. Bring out the tub and heat some water. This bathing habit of his takes so long he actually orders his troops, write letters, and read newspapers while in this bath. So why does he actually do this? There must be a reason, right? Well, to answer that, it's because Napoleon actually has a skin condition where Dr. Barry O'Meara suggested taking hot baths. But mostly, he does this because he is very dramatic with his hygiene and considers it as a relaxation method because he is such a workaholic. There are also records where Napoleon was actually so sensitive to cold. Now, once he is done with his baths, his valet would rub him down with dry towels, splash him with his favorite cologne, the eau de cologne. Then he would shave and brush his teeth, get dressed with fresh clothes and very tight trousers. Lastly, he would pick which uniform to wear, whether it be the green Chasseur de la Garde or the blue Colonel des Grenadiers. And finally, wear his bicorn hat. Second, did you know there are records and anecdotes where Napoleon was considered to hate small talk and would literally walk away during mid-conversation once he finds it boring? Imagine plotting something against a whole country, but you heard a squeak because Napoleon decided to leave. Also, he uses meetings to gain specific information, and once the speaker cannot answer him directly, he'd turn his back on them. Moreover, he definitely arrive late at meetings because once again, he thinks it's boring. So to sum it up, since he's a workaholic, he hates slow or tedious talks. Third is something unexpected because Napoleon would literally play tricks on his troops, pretending he's mad when he's actually not. He would wait for their reaction till he bursts out laughing. Some historians, though, actually considered this anger outbursts as Napoleon's tactic to appear intimidating and manipulate those around him. Speaking of tactics, Napoleon was recorded to dress up as commoners or as lower-class citizens in public and would randomly walk up to some people to debate. He does this to figure out his own popularity and what people got to say about his regime and policies. However, once the answer doesn't conform to his, he was known to act rude and aggressive, especially towards women, leading to him insulting the person's clothing or appearance. The reason considered for this behavior was because he's insecure and fears to be seen as weak. Fourth is even crazier and insensitive of him. Napoleon literally intentionally chose to ignore people. Once he finds you annoying and useless, or someone who just spouts irrational, uninteresting, and unimportant information, he would ignore you. Multiple foreign diplomats and foreign states were shut down too. If you are one of his troops, if he decides you all are unnecessary, he would abandon you guys too. Fifth is something you'd also definitely not expect, like the third one, because who would have thought Napoleon, the French general whose ego is bigger than his height, actually sings? So why was this considered annoying in multiple accounts? It's because he sings out of tune, he has a raucous and unmusical voice. His private secretary, Baron de Meneval, noted that when Napoleon was in a good mood, he would sing loudly and definitely off-key. Not only that, but when he also gets agitated or bored from reading his books. The song he often sang was the French revolutionary airs, such as the Chant du Départ, or those tunes from old operas like Devon du Village, Duchesse d'Apontes, and Marie-Louise's Lady in Waiting were actually there in times Napoleon would sing, and they said that his voice was rough and the whistling was unpleasant. Although he definitely doesn't have a talent with music, he values it deeply and attended 300 opera performances and actually preferred Italian vocal music.